giant municipal one than UBI, because UBI, as Yang was doing it, it would be subject to political woes every time there's a tremor in the economy. People would want to defund it. But I mean, even more important, or as important as having a minimum wage, you need to cap what people can gain in one particular year. You need to cap. There should be a maximum wage or a maximum amount that anyone can have. This bullshit about the wealth tax. I'm not even talking about the wealth tax. You don't have to be a wealth tax. Tax the earnings. Go back to the 1950s when. And people will say, well, in the 1950s, they weren't paying the whole 92%. They don't even understand that number one, you're always going to have people cheat. That doesn't mean that you don't set the bar high.
Obviously.
But also that when you say that the highest marginal tax rate in Ike's era was 92%, that doesn't mean that if you made $100, the government took 92%. No, if you made, let's say, $100,000 then, or let's say if you did it today, okay, up to the first, say, $200,000, if you're an individual, you would be taxed at 30%. From 200 to 500,000, you might be taxed at 45%. 500,000 to 5 million, it might be taxed at 60%. Anything over 5 million, then you would be taxed at the 90% rate. So, and people are like, oh, this is. You tell me what any human being could do. Celebrity, inventor. I mean, okay, I could see an inventor, someone who invents a really useful product. I could see that being there. But CEOs, there is no CEO that's worth anything more than 10 times what the average worker makes. And that's one of the things I put in corporations. I would say,
like literally in terms of the job that they're doing, it can't possibly be more than 10 times. Exactly. Like just think about the work they're objectively contributing, because most CEOs by definition, they're just mediocrities, right? No different than any other worker.
I worked at AT&T at the turn of the century. I remember one year, it must have been 00 or 01, this guy Michael Armstrong from Comcast back then, as part of the Comcast Comcast AT&T merger, became the CEO. And I remember we every month or so there would be one major decision, and we on my team would say, well, was this a good decision or not? What would you do? Well, we took a vote, and out of the 16 decisions over like 16 months, we were right on 13 of the decisions that we made as collections reps, and 3 times were wrong. Armstrong was the exact opposite, right 3 times and wrong 13 times. And yet this guy got a fucking golden parachute after tanking AT&T stock so bad that's why it was taken over by SBC and merged back into Bell. So these guys, everything is, it's like, don't give me this bullshit about these guys are somehow wizards and know how to make it. Every fucking single rich person that had someone give him the seed money to start him out. Elon fucking Musk, his father owned an emerald mine. He was worth $100 million or more before he took his first shit. Don't tell me that he did anything to earn anything, and don't tell me this. Oh, he's doing so well with the Tesla cars. There have been people around with that. It's just that Elon Musk knows how to sell himself more and the bullshit more. Look at all these people. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. All of these people at some point made terrible decisions that would have tanked them had they not leveraged their own debt to the point where other people had to bail them out.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, I think at least twice, almost tanked fucking Apple. Don't give me this, he was some fucking visionary. He didn't design the fucking Apple iPhones. He didn't design the Mac. Bill Gates stole the code for fucking Windows. Don't tell me these people are visionary. Don't talk to me about the fucking Gates Foundation. Get out. All of these people from the robber barons of the 19th century, they fuck over people. They screw the little guy. Instead of, I've often said too, a society that has a lot of charities is a failed society, because no society should have to depend upon the goodwill of the people who can least afford it. They should depend on the people who get the most, giving back the most, because no one here, not Bill Gates, not Jeff Bezos, they all depend on the public commons. Every fucking road, every fucking air traffic controller, every single truck that drives and brings product, every single computer system that's owned by states or by federal government. Everything that you can imagine is in the public commons, and these people use it, and they should pay more back to use it. There's no reason that Walmart workers should have to be on fucking Medicare. There's no fucking reason that Amazon workers should have to fight to get fucking masks when they're working on a fucking assembly line 2 feet from each other. But the biggest problem is these fucking zombies that work. Oh, I got my Apple cell phone. I don't give a fuck if Antarctica is melting away. I've got my cell phone here. Or, I need to know this about, the next Lord of the Rings trilogy. Or, this, once COVID is over, they're planning this Thor movie or Godzilla movie. Who the fuck gives a shit? Who the fuck gives a shit? Again, I'm a sports fan. I don't give a, if the New York Yankees or Major League Baseball went away, I'd be like, I'd be a little bit wistful. Maybe as I get older, I think about the Yankees when I was growing up with Thurman Munson and Reggie Jackson and whatnot. But none of this stuff is that important.